Have you ever felt like modern life is just one relentless series of emergencies?
Oh, absolutely.
From that unexpected traffic jam that makes you late to an inbox just overflowing with emails, it often feels like everything is this huge urgent deal.
It really does. You find yourself rushing, maybe overreacting sometimes.
Totally. Constantly focusing on what's wrong, right?
hmm
It's exhausted.
It's that constant hum, isn't it? Being on edge, like there's some invisible clock ticking away.
Exactly. And that is precisely why today we're doing a deep dive into Richard Carlson's really pivotal book, Don't Sweat the Small Stuff. And it's all small stuff.
hmm
Now, this book isn't about just ignoring problems, not at all. It's more about offering these powerful, but actually quite simple ways to stop minor issues from completely overwhelming your life.
And helping you cultivate that inner peace,
Right.
a more graceful way to handle the daily grind.
Spot on. And you know what's really captivating about this book, and it just perfectly sums up the core message, is its origin story. It involves Dr. Wayne Dyer.
Oh, right. The
Yeah.
story about the endorsement.
Yes. So Carlson had this foreign publisher mistakenly reuse an old endorsement from Dr. Dyer for a completely new book.
Which, understandably, would cause some stress. Carlson was pretty upset, wasn't he? One of the books pulled.
He was. He even got his agent involved. But Dr. Dyer's response, wow, it was just a masterclass in perspective.
Yeah, what did he say again? It was so simple.
He just wrote back this short note. Richard, there are two rules for living in harmony. Number one, don't sweat the small stuff. And number two, it's all small stuff. Let the quote stand. Love, Wayne.
I love that. Just let it stand. No drama, no fuss.
Exactly. Pure grace. And it just perfectly illustrates that fundamental shift we're going to explore today, moving from that frantic reaction
To a calm response.
right. So our mission here is to unpack several of these surprisingly simple yet honestly profound strategies.
The goal being to help you navigate life's ups and downs with, well, a bit more ease, maybe some perspective, and hopefully more joy.
Let's jump in. So if the modern world keeps trying to convince us everything's an emergency, how does Carlson suggest we even begin to reframe our relationship with all these challenges? It feels kind of counterintuitive at first.
It really does.
Yeah.
Because our default, often, is to get, as he puts it, immobilized by little things. You know, that irritation, that little annoyance that just grinds on you. Our overreactions actually get in the way. We lose sight of the bigger picture.
And we end up making everything feel like a big deal, even if it isn't.
Exactly. Which leads us straight into strategy number one. Don't sweat the small stuff.
The title itself.
Right. And he uses that classic example, someone cutting you off in traffic.
Happens all the time.
Instead of playing out those imaginary arguments in your head or just fuming,
Which we all do.
we do. He suggests this radical shift. Try having some compassion. Remember how painful it probably feels to be in that much of a hurry.
Huh. And just kind of let them go. Let them have his accident somewhere else, as he says.
Pretty much. It's about preserving your own well-being, you know. So many people spend so much life energy sweating this small stuff.
And lose touch with any sense of magic or joy in life.
Precisely. It's an act of self-preservation, really. And if you're struggling with whether something is actually small stuff,
Yeah, how do you know?
well, Strategy 16 gives you this brilliant mental check. Ask yourself the question, will this matter a year from now?
Oh, I like that. The time warp game.
Exactly. Picture whatever's stressing you out right now, an argument, a mistake you made, maybe you lost your wallet, got rejected for something.
Okay.
Now, fast forward in your mind, 1 year later, will it still feel like a big deal?
Probably not. Almost never, right? It just becomes some irrelevant detail from the past.
The vast majority of the time, yeah. And that simple exercise gives you enormous perspective. It can genuinely turn anger into maybe just a detached chuckle.
It's a powerful reminder that most worries just aren't worth the mental real estate we give them.
And building on that, Carlson offers another beautiful reframing in Strategy 75. Think of your problems as potential teachers.
Okay, so instead of just seeing them as annoyances or stressors.
Right. Pivot. See them as opportunities. Opportunities for growth instead of struggling against them, analyzing them to death.
Which is exhausting.
So exhausting. He suggests embracing the problem gently. Ask yourself, what valuable lesson might be in this for me? Patience. Forgiveness. Maybe just be more careful next time.
He says this approach can make problems soften like a clenched fist that is opening. I like that image.
It's a powerful visual of letting go, isn't it? And for those times when we just flat out don't know what's going to happen,
Which is often?
very often. Strategy 76 offers this profound idea. Get comfortable not knowing.
The The maybe so, maybe not story.
Yes. The Farmer and the Wise Old Man. It illustrates it perfectly.
Remind us how it goes.
So the farmer's ox dies. He says, "Oh, this is the worst thing." The wise man replies, "Maybe so, maybe not." Then the farmer finds this strong wild horse. "This is the best thing ever." Wise man, "Maybe so, maybe not."
Uh-oh.
Then the farmer's son breaks his leg riding the horse. "Worst thing." Wise man, again. "Maybe so, maybe not."
And the punchline.
Troops come through town, conscripting young men for war, but the son is spared because of his broken leg. Suddenly, it's the best thing.
Wow. So the lesson is, we just don't know.
We genuinely don't know how things will turn out. Overthinking, blowing scenarios up in our minds, it's often totally wrong, besides being draining.
Staying open allows for a kind of peace then, knowing that somehow all will be well.
Exactly. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? How much of our own suffering is self-imposed, just from that need to predict and control everything?
Our brains crave certainty, I guess.
They do. But letting go of that tight grip, paradoxically, might actually make us better problem solvers, more resilient.
That's a really crucial point about self-imposed suffering. Okay, let's shift gears a bit. Let's talk about our interactions with other people, relationships. Yeah, because so much daily friction, I find, comes from these subtle, often ego-driven habits and how we talk to each other or at each other.
Absolutely. A lot of it is unconscious. That little need to seem smart or be right or feel special, it creates unnecessary tension.
Which brings us nicely to strategy 7. Don't interrupt others or finish their sentences.
Oh, this is a big one. Especially, as Carlson says, for busy people.
Guilty as charged sometimes. But it's so destructive, isn't it? You're trying to track two minds at once. It speeds everything up, makes everyone nervous.
And people feel unheard, which is a recipe for arguments.
Totally. The solution seems so simple, though.
Just be patient. Let them finish. It sounds basic, but it makes a huge difference. You feel more relaxed. They feel heard and respected. It improves everything.
It's like a quiet act of kindness that actually benefits you too.
It really is. And building on that, strategies 12 and 37 offer this powerful choice. Let others be right most of the time, and choose being kind over being right.
This one really hits home. It forces you to ask, do I want to be right or do I want to be happy?
Because often, you can't be both, can you? Constantly defending your position takes enormous mental energy.
And it pushes people away. Nobody enjoys being corrected all the time, especially if it feels like the other person is just trying to prove they're smarter.
Exactly. Carlson shares that lovely story about his wife, Chris. She had a great business idea.
And she let him take the credit for it.
She did.
Yeah.
Because for her, seeing him happy and excited was more important than being acknowledged as right. Her joy came from his joy.
Wow. That's putting kindness way ahead of ego.
It's not about being a doormat or having no opinions. It's about consciously choosing inner peace over those constant ego battles. What truly serves your well-being in that moment.
That's a great filter. And speaking of ego, strategy 39 is all about practicing humility.
The need to prove ourselves.
Right. Carlson explains that constantly pointing out your accomplishments, sort of bragging, it actually dilutes the good feelings you get from them.
And it can push others away, too. People aren't always impressed by boasting.
He tells that story about a client who got promoted over a friend, a competitive friend.
Right, and he felt that strong urge to kind of rub it in subtly.
But he resisted. And instead of gloating, he just felt this quiet sense of calm and pride.
And later, when his friends found out, they were genuinely impressed by his humility. He got more positive feedback that way than any boasting would have achieved.
It's that paradox, isn't it? The less you chase approval, the more you seem to get it.
Quiet confidence is attractive.
Definitely. Okay, one more on interactions. Strategy 41, avoid weatherproofing. I love this metaphor.
It's a good one. Like weatherproofing a house, looking for leaks and drafts.
We do that with people. We weatherproof our relationships by constantly scanning for what's wrong or what needs fixing.
Oh, you always tend to be late, or, you don't read very much. Little critiques.
And that habit makes us critical. It stops us from just appreciating people and relationships as they are, flaws and all.
Carlson's advice is simple. Catch yourself doing it. Seal your lips. And just notice how much better life feels when you stop constantly looking for flaws.
It's fascinating how much energy goes into these defensive or critical patterns.
It really is. And realizing that these strategies aren't just about being nice to others, they're fundamentally about reducing our own internal stress.
And fostering real connection, which is a huge source of peace.
Absolutely.
All right, moving into our final section, let's talk practical self-care. Because inner peace isn't just about reacting better, right? It's also about actively building habits that support it from the ground up.
Exactly. Being proactive about your well-being. Many of us live as human doings, not human beings, always needing to be busy, stimulated.
Which leads perfectly into strategy 18, allow yourself to be bored.
Sounds radical in today's world.
It does. Carlson shares how his therapist, way back, told him simply, allow yourself to be bored, do nothing.
Just
Even for a few minutes. Consciously choosing to do nothing clears the mental clutter. It replaces that background anxiety with a bit of peace. It's like giving your brain a much-needed break.
And he argues it actually makes your mind stronger, sharper, more creative afterwards.
Yeah, it's not laziness, it's essential maintenance, a real antidote to our always-on culture.
Okay, then there's strategy 19. Lower your tolerance to stress. This one feels counterintuitive, too.
It really does. Society tends to admire people who can handle massive loads of stress. We boast about having a high tolerance.
Right. But Carlson points out this crucial link. Our current level of stress will be exactly that of our tolerance to stress.
Meaning if you keep raising your tolerance,
You'll just keep taking on more and more stress until eventually you hit a breaking point, a crisis. It's a self-defeating cycle.
so the solution isn't to handle more stress, but to become more sensitive to it.
Exactly. Notice it early. When your mind starts racing or your shoulders tense up, see it as a signal.
A signal to do what?
Pause. Take a few deep breaths. Maybe step outside for a minute. Lowering your tolerance means you address stress before it spirals.
And paradoxically, that makes you more effective, less stressed overall.
That's the idea. You're not just coping, you're managing it proactively, which frees up energy for creative solutions.
Okay, that makes sense. And to really support this, two strategies seem crucial. Strategy 26, set aside quiet time every day. And strategy 99, schedule time for your inner work.
These go hand in hand. He points out that pretty much all inwardly peaceful people make time for quiet reflection daily.
Could be meditation, maybe time in nature, even just a quiet bath.
Whatever works for you. But the key is consistency.
He uses that great analogy with financial planning. Pay yourself first.
Right. If you wait until everything else is done, the chores, the emails, the errands, that time for yourself, for inner work, it just vanishes.
It never happens. You have to actively schedule it, like any other important appointment.
Even small moments count. Carlson mentions pulling his car over for just a minute or two before going into his house after work.
Just a brief pause to transition. That shows how even tiny, consistent acts can anchor your day.
Definitely. Now, this next one might get some resistance. Strategy 80. Become an early riser.
Yeah, not everyone's favorite idea.
I get it, but the suggestion is powerful. Waking up an hour or maybe two earlier, before the household wakes up, before the demands start.
To have dedicated me time.
Exactly. For yoga, meditation, reading, just watching the sunrise with a coffee, whatever nourishes you.
And the benefit.
That dedicated, uninterrupted time creates this deep sense of fulfillment. It prevents that feeling later in the day of being ripped off from your own life because you were just reacting to everyone else's needs.
So you feel like you've already had a full day of enjoyment before the busyness even starts.
That's the feeling, yeah. It can be transformative for your baseline sense of peace.
Okay, and wrapping up this incredible collection of insights, Strategy 100, it's powerful, maybe a little stark.
Live this day as if it were your last. It might be.
Yeah, that one definitely gets your attention. He points out that sobering truth. Most people on their deathbed don't wish they'd worked more or worried more. They wish they hadn't sweated the small stuff so much.
And that they'd spent more time on what and who they truly loved.
It's that ultimate perspective check, isn't it? It reminds us how precious life is.
And encourages us to align our actions with our real priorities now, not someday when the inbox is finally empty.
Which it never will be.
Exactly. Don't postpone joy, don't postpone connection. And, connecting these practices back to the bigger picture, these aren't fluffy nice-to-haves.
No, they're fundamental pillars for a peaceful and effective life. They don't detract from productivity. They enhance it by reducing inner friction.
Which leads to a really important question for you listening right now. What small, consistent practice could you start incorporating, maybe even today, to nurture your own inner world?
What a journey we've had. We've taken this deep dive into Richard Carlson's Don't Sweat the Small Stuff and explored some really practical, powerful strategies.
From reframing problems and embracing imperfection.
To changing how we interact with others, cultivating humility.
And finally, adopting those essential self-care habits for inner peace.
And the key takeaway really is that these aren't huge monumental changes required. They're small daily shifts, shifts in perspective, shifts in habit.
But those small shifts can profoundly change your actual lived experience day to day.
It really all comes back to that simple, profound truth from Dr. Wayne Dyer, doesn't it?
Don't sweat the small stuff.
And it's all small stuff. It's a habit, ultimately, something we can learn and practice.
Allowing us to respond to whatever life throws at us with a bit more grace, more ease.
And hopefully a lot more joy.
Mm.
So here's a final thought to leave you with. If happiness isn't really found in what you have, but maybe in what you practice most consistently, what small daily habit, if you cultivated it, would bring the most peace and love into your life starting right now?
And perhaps just as importantly, what habit might you need to stop practicing, knowing deep down that it just doesn't serve your well-being anymore?